Hey guys, so this is an introductory video about climbing. So before we start climbing, there are a few main things you should know. First of all, these are climbing shoes. They're made to fit a little bit tighter, and they have special padding all around that allow you to use the entirety of your feet. Second thing is this. This is called chalk. It's a sort of a white powder that takes moisture away from your hands, so when you climb, your hands do not slip. Thirdly, as you can see, this is a climbing wall, and these things on the wall are called climbing holds. These are meant that you hold onto them and thus climb to the top of the wall. So, if we start from the beginning, climbing is essentially a sport when you start at the beginning of a climb and you have to climb all up until the top of the climb the way it's set. It is usually separated by colors, or you have special signs that are showing you the beginning and the finish. You have two different types of climbing. The first one is bouldering. What you see here is bouldering. Essentially, it is climbing up to shorter heights, and it's without rope protection because it is usually not, that high that you would need protection. It is also often very difficult, and it involves different levels of climbing, if you know what I mean. If you follow me here, we have another type of climbing, and it is called lead climbing. Lead climbing is when you have to climb higher heights. This is a good example. For lead climbing, you need a rope and a belt so that it can protect you while you climb.
Okay, so the first type of climbing that we're going to discuss today is bouldering, and essentially what that is basically climbing on shorter heights where the mattresses, which are called crash pads, they replace rope protection because you climb on such short heights that you don't need to clip any quick draws, and it's just much easier to just have a mattress underneath you. Now here in the gym, all the crash pads are already in place, but when you go outdoor climbing, you have to bring your own. And because there are a bunch of rocks everywhere, you also you need to be much more careful, and that's why we have this little thing called spotting. And essentially, it looks like this. I stand here, and I keep him from falling. If he were to swing out and fall to the right, and there wouldn't be a crash pad here, and there would be a rock here, I would be standing here, so I would push him back into that direction so that he doesn't hurt himself. And this is why bouldering is actually much more dangerous than lead climbing, because these things happen. All right, so let's get started with the basics. And this is all the basic equipment besides climbing shoes and chalk that you need to go climbing. So when you do lead climbing, the number one thing you need is your harness, your rope, and your belaying device, which is called a gree in this case. You also have other devices, but this one is the most commonly used nowadays, and it's also the most reliable.
So when we lead climb, we first have to put on a harness. This is a climbing harness. It has the main part that goes around your waist and two smaller parts that go around your legs. If you come closer, you put this part around your waist and you make sure that it holds you tight so that if you fall, it's going to keep you still. The second part is around the legs, which we also have to make sure that it's nice and tight.
Okay, so the first thing we have to do is tie a knot, and this is the double figure 8. And the way we do this is that we make a single figure 8 first, like this. And once we have that, then we put it through both these loops that we have here on our harness, and we pull it as close up to the loop as we can. And then we just follow this rope around. So we go over like this, then we go back through, and then we end like this, and it should look like that. Alright. So basically what I'm doing is that I clip in the part that's loose. See, this is moving around. This can't move around, this part. And then I draw the rope, and the belayer gives me the rope. And then I clip it in, and when I clip it in, that's when I'm safe. And then this holds me. For example, when I start climbing up, and I get to like here, and then my foot slips, and I fall, this catches me. Okay, so another really important difference is between indoor and outdoor climbing. So when you go to the gym, everything is already set, all the quick draws are already in, you have all the crash pads already in place, you have the boulders set in a specific way, and it's just a lot different to when you go and you climb outdoors, both in lead and in bouldering. When you go lead climbing, you have to bring your own quick draws, you have to bring a helmet in case rock falls, which usually doesn't happen in like established cracks, but in some cases it still does happen. So you have to bring a helmet. You also need a bunch of the quick draws so that you can put them in, because the only thing that exists in like sport climbing cracks are the bolts, so you have to bring your own quick draws. And the whole thing is just the texture of the holds and everything all together is a whole different feeling.